Okay.
Paul, thanks for joining us.
Okay.
This is probably about as far from the downtown east side in terms of appearance in the Hollyhock Garden here. But maybe you can explain what the downtown east side is about in Vancouver.
Okay, well, the Downtown Eastside is, well, officially, and it's a bit of a cliche, it's known as the poorest postal code in Canada.
Yeah.
And it's true, there are 15,000 people living in the neighborhood. They say 5,000 people have substance abuse problems. And there is a lot of other people living in that community as well. There are families, old people, and it's in the central part of Vancouver City, just east of the downtown.
Right.
And it's the oldest part of the city.
Right. So you're using photography to deliver some messages of hope and give a sense of creativity and self-worth. Can you explain what you're doing?
Okay, well, it started in 2003. Pivot Legal Society is an advocacy organization that helps marginalized people in the downtown east side with problems with policing and housing problems. And in 2003, one of the volunteers said, hey, they kept on seeing exhibitions from professional photographers that come from all over Canada and go to the downtown east side and take some amazing shots of people they'd see on the street and have exhibitions. And they said, well, why don't we do a different thing and buy some disposable cameras and give them to the local people, ask them to take photographs of themselves and ask them to choose a hopeful theme and show that there is a community there. And that's what they did. And they ended up handing them out, and 3 days later people returned the cameras, they developed the film and then had an exhibition. And not only that, they sold the prints but also made a calendar. And then people from the downtown east side could sell it on the streets and make a little bit of extra cash for Christmas. That was the initial idea.
And have you got a camera here?
Oh, I do.
Let's take a look at it.
So this is the one from this year, from 2006.
So it's called Hope and Shadows.
Yeah, Hope and Shadows is the name of the whole contest now. 2 years after the year after the first one, they called the calendar. First of all, it was called the Downtown East Side Calendar.
Right.
And then the second year they called it Hope and Shadows, and then we've decided that's become a really good, well-known name.
Right.
And now that's the name of the contest, the exhibition. There's two exhibitions really. One of them's on the streets of the downtown east side, because after the first 40, the top 40 are chosen by professional local judges, we get the local community to rank them. And so we go on, this year we went onto the streets of Main and Hastings and set up a little tent, and people came along and they voted for the ones they liked and they put it in a box. And then from that ranking we give out the awards, and the award ceremony is going to be on October the 11th this year. In the local community centre, which is the Carnegie Centre. There's another exhibition uptown in the Pendulum Gallery, and that's opposite the Vancouver Art Gallery in the HSBC building. And that's going to be opening on the 12th of October, actually the evening of the 11th, and then running to the 20th. And the general public can go along and have a look at the top 40 photographs. They're framed, and there are stories about not only the people in the photos, but about the photographers. And that's the thing about the calendar. It has stories about the people in the photos, the photographers, and it tries to say a little bit about them and show that they're everyday real people, just like everyone else in the city.
Now, I saw on your website that when you actually make the cameras available, there's lineups for them, right?
There are. Ever since the beginning, actually, I think they advertised the fact they were going to do this. It was very popular back in October 2003 when they did it. And ever since then, there's been a lot of interest, and it's a huge community event. And people come out there and they just, it's really for the fun of it. And later on, when we hand out the prizes, we try and give as much money back from what we get from this back to the people. It's really for the people in the community. So everyone in the top 40 wins a prize, and if we interview people for their calendar or for the exhibition, we give them a stipend. And it's just the satisfaction and the confidence that you see people getting when they win is amazing, because we give them a certificate, and they get an enlargement of their photograph, and the prize money. The top prize is $500.
Wow.
5 people get 100. And 10 third prizes get 50, and then the rest of the honourable mentions get 25. And so, yeah.
So what difference do you think it's made?
Well, it's made more of a difference after the first few years. We realized that originally it was set up as a fundraiser for Pivot Legal Society, and we realized it was just really breaking even. It wasn't really making a lot of money, but the community loved it, and Vancouver in general, they were buying the calendars, and people selling the calendars were making that little bit of money before Christmas and getting work experience. And we found that the real benefit, the long-term benefit, is from the people selling the calendars. They're going out there, and a lot of them, despite the fact there's a shortage of workers in Canada, in Vancouver at the moment, what with the Olympics coming, there's a lot of people who are underemployed or unemployed in the Downtown Eastside, whether it's because of mental health problems or whatever. They just, we find that if you give them something that they can earn a bit of money at their own pace, they'll some people will actually take that extra step, and it brings them towards maybe taking another step.
So it just gives them a little bit of self-esteem and gets them up over the edge. Yeah.
And that's really the benefit, as well as earning a bit of extra cash before Christmas. Welfare rates haven't really gone up very much since the early 90s, and a lot of people really struggle month to month to get by. So just helping people a little bit before Christmas is a good thing in itself.
That's great. Well, thanks for doing this. And if people want to know more, they can go to hopeandshadows.com.
They can.
And they can see some previous photographs. They can learn a little bit about Pivot and the legal work you do.
That's right. And from the 11th of October, we'll have the new Top 40 up
great.
there.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.